Hello everyone, my name is Maggie and welcome to another Around the Year video. So today I'll be attempting to sew my first ever pair of summer pants. Let's get to work. First of all, I made a pattern, which is a hybrid between a basic pant block and a pattern I saw in a sewing book. This is what I ended up with. Then I went ahead and cut everything out of the fabric, legs, pockets, just one as I'll be inserting a zipper into the other side seam instead. And a waistband, which I then interfaced. I also pressed it in half, so there'll be a nice crisp finish. I started with the leg that will have the pocket, so I took one pocket half and sewed it to the side seam of one back leg piece, around 5 centimeters down from the upper edge of that piece, right sides facing. Same for the corresponding front leg. I pressed the seam allowances towards the pocket to get everything nice and clean and hopefully stop the pocket from peeking out. Now I sewed the two legs together along the side seam, right sides together, going from the top, around the pocket, and all the way down the leg. Sew up the inside leg seam as well, and voila, there's one leg done. Same for the other leg, except to leave the top 20 centimeters of the side seam open for inserting the zipper. At the center of each back leg, I sewed a dart, 1 centimeter wide and 5 centimeters deep. At the center of each front leg, I secured in place a 3 centimeter pleat, pleated towards the center front to give the illusion of a narrower waist, instead of widening it. Next, we'll sew the legs together along the crotch seam, again right sides facing. I hope you're not getting tired of that expression by now, because I am. Once you've done that, it's a good idea to try on the pants to see if you need to make any alterations and to prevent gaping. Then, right sides facing, attach the waistband, placing the open ends at the open seam where the zip will go. Once the waistband is in place, fold it down on the wrong side of the pants to cover the raw edges, and fold its own raw edge under and out of sight before pinning. Then from the right side of the garment we're going to secure everything in place, using the stitch in the ditch method, which means we're going to sew exactly on top of the seam, so our stitches disappear in the ditch the seam is making. If you're using a regular foot with your needle in center position, make sure to focus your eyes on the little gap in the foot and keeping that exactly above the seam you're stitching on, instead of on the needle, as otherwise your stitch will go wonky and, well, not in the ditch. I did that and I actually had to go back and seam rip parts of my seam, since the stitch was very visible and clearly not straight. Or use a zipper foot, as its edges will automatically align with the needle. Next, I inserted a zip, and as I couldn't find a lilac invisible zip, I went with a regular one instead, which was kind of a bad idea, but turned out okay, after I hand-stitched a little fold of fabric over it to make it more invisible. I would also like to mention that I purposely inserted it the wrong way to make it more invisible, which helped, but I still wouldn't recommend this method. Then by hand, I hemmed each leg while listening to classical music. Fun fact: when listening to classical music, you automatically use smaller and more meticulous stitches as you try to match the aesthetic of the music. Give it a shot, I can really recommend it. And now my trousers are done. I'm considering making them into a pattern, so let me know in the comments below if you would be interested in that. I also ended up adding a tiny button at the top of the waistband with a hand-stitched button loop, since the top part of the zip wasn't properly hidden. This was not shown in the video as I only added that a couple of days later, but it really improved the look of the pants a lot. And here are the finished pants. I'm really happy with how they turned out, and if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up down below, and I will see you next time.